God warns the enemy is stealing your miracle. Don't skip this message, because you might miss a crucial piece of what God is showing you about a hidden victory. God saw you, chosen one, and laughed so loudly and proudly that the whole of heaven could feel it. This wasn't because you were perfect, tried too hard to impress people, or all of a sudden everyone got your heart. This is how happy a dad was to see his kid finish a secret challenge and stay true to themselves. You just had a small chance to hurt back, and you almost missed it. You might have grown angry. You could have said that you didn't care because you were in pain. You could have gone back to your old ways, but you chose not to. You hung on. You took a breath. Heaven saw that you chose something else. This message wasn't put here by mistake. You are here because your spirit is ready to understand what God already knows. Heaven didn't miss your win, but the world might have, because it happened inside you. I can hear the Father saying, not just for show, not just as a catchy phrase, but as a holy witness, that is my chosen one. Remember this. You're about to understand why they weren't making fun of you when they laughed. They were just happy. Chosen one, that word could make you feel something. It hasn't always been safe to laugh. Some people made fun of you when you were trying your best. Some people laughed at you when you were in pain. Many people smiled at you, even though they didn't understand you at all, and that made your heart guard itself, before joy could even get in. That's why this picture of God laughing is so important. God did not laugh at your pain. God didn't laugh at how weak you were. You tripped, but God didn't laugh. There was no mean laughter here. This was the deep joy of a dad who knew how much it cost you to keep growing. People laugh in different ways, some that hurt and some that heal. There are types of laughter that show your flaws, and types that cover them up with love. Some laughs make you want to hide, and some bring your soul back home. You made me laugh in a second kind of way. It was a holy agreement. There was a sound like heaven saw a wind that earth couldn't see. Some people may have heard silence. Self-control caught his eye. A lot of people may have seen delays. God saw you getting ready. A lot of people may have seen tiredness. God saw a strong will inside that wouldn't give up. That's why the sky shook. Not because you arrived in style. Not because you beat someone in public. Not because every enemy gave up all of a sudden. Heaven shook because you wouldn't get angry. Even though it would have been easy to understand why you would be angry. Take a moment to think about that. What kind of strength does it take to be hurt and still be kind? How much faith do you need to keep going when no one knows how close you were to giving up? Chosen one, the answer isn't just about who you are. It's not just that you're strong. It's not just that you learned how to stay alive. God has kept some part of you safe, even when you thought you were barely able to hold it together. Most of the time, people who are already perfect are praised. Heaven is happy for people who are still growing. There needs to be proof, numbers, cheers, and clear changes in the world. Heaven is close to the private room, the early morning silence, the pillow wet with tears, and the time when no one saw you do the right thing. That's where God smiled. That's the room where pride grew. It was in that room that the Father saw his shaking, tired, and tempted child still choosing the harder path. You thought nothing important took place there, but something eternal did. It was probably not as big of a deal as you think. It could have been the message you forgot to send. It's possible that you didn't force the answer. It might have been the fight you didn't start. It could have been the chance you didn't take. That night, you may have sat alone and said, "God, I don't get this, but I won't let it make me mean." Or, it may have been this morning, when you were tired, but still chose to carry your heart with grace. You might have been able to tell someone about someone in the conversation, but you let God decide. That hour might have been when old anger came back to the surface, but you didn't feed it. Instead, you breathed until it went away. It could have been when you stopped pleading to be a part of a life that constantly made you feel small. It could have been the day you finally chose peace, without anyone having to say what they did. That was a big choice in heaven. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission grows into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. But more than your support, we want your presence. When you head to our community through the link in the description, or the pinned comment, you aren't just visiting a site. You are entering a community of like-minded believers. This is a sanctuary where you can post your prayer requests, lift up the burdens of others, and engage in daily discussions with a family that speaks the language of faith. Whether you are joining one of our membership tiers for deeper study, sowing a seed of faith, or simply joining our daily morning prayers, you are helping us build a global altar of worship. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through a community that stands together. Each gift you give acts as living water for those in our community seeking healing and hope. Give, and it will be given to you, is the promise that sustains our shared mission. I invite you now to step out of the shadows and into this circle of prayer. Come with purpose, join the conversation, and plant your seed in fertile ground. Let's open the heavens together. Release your seed today, join our community, and see what God brings back into your life. Normal moments are called that by those who can't hear what's going on in your spirit. When you refuse to follow the old pattern, they can't hear the sound of a chain breaking. Even though they can't hear it, God does. Your future will change if you don't go back to the person pain taught you to be. It's clear to God. God can tell the difference between someone who had a simple day and someone who fought a battle they couldn't see. When He saw you win the battle, happiness spread to the other side. That's why the title got to you, Chosen One. It names something that your soul has been feeling, but couldn't put its finger on. You know something is different now. Not close to you yet. Not too loud. Not in a way that everyone can see. You went through a change. That change inside isn't a coincidence. It's not being weak. There is no confusion. It's not the end of what you love. It's proof that growth is taking place in the secret spot, where God does some of His most careful work. This is showing up in every part of your life. Some of them don't talk. It's possible that some of them wanted to lose something. They might have seen you move away, stay still, or become less open to the noise that used to get your full attention. You no longer need certain people to understand you. This is the first sign. Not because it hurts less. There is still some pain, but the need has grown less. Their misunderstanding doesn't have as much power over your life as it used to. You can tell the difference. You may still want to get along with them, but their story is no longer a big part of who you are. You no longer put your worth in the hands of people who only saw you through their own pain. That's not being cocky. That's being free. That's not being cold. That helps heal. These lessons teach you that being understood by God is very important, and that being misunderstood by other people isn't the end of your life. Heaven saw it. The second sign is that you can be sad without turning it into anger. You can still cry. You might remember. The pain may still come on suddenly sometimes, but it doesn't have as much power over you as it used to. At one point, you tried to talk mostly in a sad voice. Everything that would happen in the future was meant to look dangerous. The lesson was that love always ends, kindness always has a reason, and trusting people only ends in disappointment. But you didn't want to learn that lesson. It's true that you felt pain. You didn't act like everything was okay. You just wouldn't let pain be your only teacher forever. That refusal is holy, and God saw it. The third sign is that you're tired but not empty. There is a big difference. Being tired means you've done a lot. Empty means that you no longer feel anything holy. There's still a small flame inside you, even though you're tired. That flame might not always be very bright. There are days when it's quiet. It feels like one candle in a big, dark room some days. It's still there though, and the fact that it is after everything you've been through is bizarre. When you feel weak, you think that God is waiting for you. But maybe God is already proud of you, because you kept the candle burning when storms should have put it out. That soft flame is important. A lot of the chosen ones miss the fourth sign. You don't look for chances that require you to hide who you really are anymore. It feels faster now. Even if a place looks great, if it makes you feel bad inside, something in you pulls away. It's easy to see. This isn't being lazy. It's not that you're getting tough. You are learning that not every door that opens is meant for you, and not every invitation lets you into the private parts of your calling. There were times when you didn't listen to that inner voice. You would have gone into too much detail. You were going to try to show why you should be chosen, but something has changed. You're not begging for places that won't treat you with respect, and heaven saw that. The fifth sign is that something good is coming back. You might be surprised by this. You might have thought that after everything you've been through, you would get stronger, colder, sharper, and harder to reach. But there are times when you still feel amazed. A soft song can make you feel something. A small act of kindness can make you feel better. Sometimes a small sign can make you cry, because you still believe that God can speak to us through everyday things. That's a valuable part of you. That part of you is not stupid. That's the child inside you that lived through life without acting like a child. Fear tried to bury that child, but God made sure that child could breathe. That's why the father was so proud and laughed. He saw that life didn't take away all of your tenderness. He saw that being betrayed didn't make you worship doubt. He knew that waiting didn't take away your hope. The sixth sign is that you can see better, but your heart isn't getting colder. Now you see more. You hear how people really feel behind their words. You can feel the weight of the silence. You can tell when something is good and when it's bad. Great news, though. You haven't used your better eyesight as an excuse to hate everyone. You're more careful, but not mean. You know more, but you're not shut down. You're more careful, but you're not dead inside. That scale is holy. A lot of people become aware and then get mean. A lot of people get hurt, and then call their anger wisdom, but you are being changed into someone who can see clearly and love right. Even heaven saw that. The seventh sign is that you are scared about a big change that is coming up. You might not say that out loud. You might tell yourself that you're just tired, but you know that being more visible means you have to take care of things. Even though you've prayed for doors to open, you get scared when you feel the handle turn. Some of you aren't sure if you can handle what comes next after asking God to use you. He just brought back your gentleness. Being afraid doesn't mean you're not good enough. And it shows that you know how serious it is. It shows that you're not trying to get attention for your own sake. It shows that you understand that being chosen isn't a costume, it's a calling, and you should always be careful with callings. These signs aren't meant to make you feel better, chosen one. They are here to help you see what God has already seen. You're not the same person you were before the fire. You're not the same person who was about to give up. This time, you didn't need anyone to explain themselves, but now you can let them go. You came in reacting to every wound, but now you're ready to leave. You were afraid of the quiet when you went in, but now you can hear God there. That's growth. That proves it. That's why heaven didn't find the laughter strange. God has been looking at the fruit that you can't see, while you've been judging yourself by what you can see. That's why it seems strange to you. Your patience will pay off in the end. In your quiet times, there is fruit. You didn't let sadness change you into someone you wouldn't recognize, which is a good thing. As you learn to receive without fear, good things will come your way. This is where the first real breakthrough happens. There is a deeper truth waiting for you beneath every sign, every tear, and every time you felt like God had forgotten about you. Heaven wasn't waiting for you to show how great you were. Heaven was watching as you became real. Chosen one, heaven was keeping an eye on more than just your results. You could see how you were being shaped. While other people looked for clear proof, God saw how your heart felt when you were under a lot of stress. While everyone else waited for the door to open, God saw you stand there with the door closed. That's why what has changed around you can't tell you everything about your life. You've gone through some of the biggest changes. You might not get any more praise yet. Even though you don't have the answer yet, you're not living your life the same way you used to. There is a growth that doesn't make itself known. It doesn't come with a lot of people. It doesn't ask people in the room to pay attention. It takes place in quiet places while you are doing normal things like doing the dishes, checking your messages, paying your bills, and trying to get through another day. That hidden growth is holy. It was seen by God. God saw the pause you made before you spoke. God saw how you dealt with your pain without using it to hurt other people. God saw how you kept your hands clean even though you had many reasons to be mean. This is how things form. This is not a punishment. It's not being turned down. It doesn't mean that no one has remembered you. God lets pressure show you what's real, while He protects the part of you that can't be destroyed. This is called formation. Chosen one. People often judge how blessed they are by what they get. A lot of the time, God judges them by how well they fit with His plan. Folks want to know if you have the job, the partner, the cash, the apology, or the open door. This is why heaven could be happy before people could understand. What has happened to your soul while you were waiting? God looked at the roots while people looked for fruit. Heaven saw people following the rules while they were looking for results. Heaven saw someone being made who could do more without changing too much from God. There was a time when each delay felt like a verdict. You thought that being quiet meant. You thought waiting would make people forget about you. Being hidden made you think you were not good enough. But the Father wasn't going to hide His pride until other people thought your life was great. He was happy that you kept going. He was proud when you prayed without using a lot of words. You told Him you were tired, but you didn't give up hope, and that made Him proud. He was proud of you when you picked the right path without being praised. Heaven will always remember that kind of moment. The whole world might not like it. No one might call you strong because of it. But in the realm of the unseen, something was written about you that made the Father happy. I saw what they didn't see. I saw the tears after the door closed. I saw the self-control after the insult. I saw the faith after the disappointment. I saw my child becoming steady. Chosen one, that's why the laughter was holy. It was because I knew you. It came from happiness. It came from the joy of having a Father who knows the whole story, not just the part that other people use to judge you. This kind of gentleness can be seen in an old picture in the Bible. In Zephaniah 3:17, it says that God is happy about His people. He is not just putting up with them or barely accepting them. He is happy and loving about them. The Hebrew idea behind this is that being happy means moving around. It's not just a simple yes. It's not a cold nod from a throne far away. There is joy rising up, joy celebrating, and joy that can't stay still because love is moving through it. This is important because a lot of God's chosen people think He is quiet, serious, and hard to please. He may look at your life and make a list of all the bad things you did. But the Bible paints a different picture. A God who is happy when things come back to life. That doesn't mean God doesn't see your hurt. That doesn't mean He's good about everything. It means that your journey doesn't stop His happiness. It means He can tell you what's wrong without putting you down, and shape you without feeling bad about yourself. So, you should understand what it means when this message says, God laughed with pride. Don't listen to jokes. Not to hear sarcasm. Listen not to the laugh that made you feel small. Hear the holy joy going through heaven, because a child of God stayed his. You're more important than you know when you're a child. Things in life tried to hide that child. Pain tried to make you doubt everything that was good. They tried to make you feel stupid for trusting them. And they slowed down your hopes to make them seem risky. But something in you still tries to reach out. Some part of you still hears. You still think that God can talk to you through a quiet sign, a feeling in your heart, a sudden sense of peace, or a moment that seems too good to be true. That's not being weak, that proves it. You hurt the child inside you, but it wasn't gone. For a while, the child inside you shut down, but it didn't die. That part was kept alive by God, because your calling still needs wonder. Your spirit can be healed in some ways, and your mind can be healed in other ways. If you've been under a lot of stress for a long time, your mind may start to shrink your world to protect you. You don't think as freely. You receive less often. You don't expect as much good. The reason for this is not that you're broken beyond repair. It's not that you're lazy. It's not because you can't do things as well as you used to. The mind learns to stay guarded sometimes in order to stay alive, even when God is trying to make it open again. That's why I want to say something quietly here. The Genius Switch is a simple support that comes with an 8-minute sound program that is meant to make your whole brain work better. It has something to do with Dr. Daniel Barron and his group. It's not the same thing as God. You can't be sure that you can buy your calling. It's not an easy way to avoid healing. It is just one tool that can help a mind that has been in survival mode and wants to learn how to receive again. You can click on the link in the description and first comment, if your spirit says so. Don't feel any pressure to keep reading this message if it doesn't work. It's still the same deep truth. God is making you feel like a child again. That part like a child isn't childish. It's important to note this difference. Childish avoids taking care of things. Like a child, you're always open to new things. Childish wants to be in charge. Like a child, you learn to trust. Childish acts out of fear. Childlike asks for help without being told what to do. The world did awful things to try to make you grow up. It taught you to look in every room for danger. It taught you to be ready for sadness before happiness could take a breath. You learned to keep your hope hidden so no one would laugh at you for it. But God never told you to stop feeling things. You were never told to mix up being tough and being an adult. He never told you to hide your kindness behind religious words and call that wisdom. A heart that is guarded may feel safe, but it can't fully receive. It's not going backwards to act like a child. It's repair work. After dirty pain, it's the return of pure trust. After a bitter disappointment, it's the return of simple prayer. After life tried to make everything feel heavy, it's the return of wonder. You're not being told to forget what happened, chosen one. You're not being told to trust people who aren't safe. People who have already shown they would damage your valuable items are not being asked to take them. Even though being open is important, being smart about things is still important. You can have boundaries and tenderness at the same time. Wonder and wisdom can live together. You don't have to block what God is trying to send. If you stop letting things that hurt you in. That's a balance that heaven is proud of. It's learning how to be gentle without being too easy to use. You are learning how to really forgive people. You're learning how to love without giving up who you are. It's not small. That balance will be hard for some people to get. Some people only knew who you were if you were always there for them. Some people called you nice when you didn't care about them. Some people praised your patience, because it let them avoid taking care of things. They couldn't clap when you started to change. These people didn't know how to celebrate a you that wasn't there anymore for their own safety. They told you to keep your peace. They said it was your healing pride. They said that your clarity was cold. This is why applause from people stopped being reliable. Some people can't be happy about things they can't change. Some people won't honor a healing that they don't agree with. Certain people can't be happy about your freedom if it means they can't use your old weaknesses against you. Chosen one, don't get angry about it. It will help you see. Their lack of response doesn't mean your growth is wrong. Making them feel bad doesn't mean you've turned cruel. They can't see you, but that doesn't mean God isn't looking at you. God saw you. Heaven saw you. God the Father knew how much each rule you made would cost. He could feel the sadness in every no. He could see the shaking behind every answer that seemed calm. During those nights, He saw you wonder if choosing peace meant losing everyone. Still, you picked peace. You still chose to be shaped. Still, you picked the slow path that was good for your soul. That's why you can feel divine pride before you even get the public reward. Sometimes it's a little sad to be praised by God before other people understand. You might feel both proud and alone at the same time. It's possible to feel both chosen and tired at the same time. Even if you're thankful, you may still wish someone had seen earlier. I don't think that makes you not spiritual. It helps you be honest. God doesn't mind that you need comfort. He knows that you were made for love, family, witnesses, and safe places to connect with other people. There are holy times and painful times that are hidden. Take a moment to understand that truth. You don't have to act like the secret spot was simple, just because God used it. You don't have to say that being ignored is fate. You don't have to say that being alone is strong. Honor what God made, but also be honest about what it cost. Don't feel bad if you need someone to see what you went through. Some people might want to say, "I see how hard that was." That's okay. It's okay to wish that the people who got strength from your strength had also cared about your pain. The first witness has already talked, though. Heaven has already gone too far. The Father has already seen the scene that no one else played back. The part of you that thought it had failed has already been filled with God's joy. So, take a deep breath. Do not hold yourself up. Take it easy on your jaw. Part of you that has been getting ready to be let down should slowly understand this. Being tired won't get you in trouble. You are not out of the running because you needed comfort. You have used more than your ears to listen. Your body has been reminding you of a truth that you almost forgot. The truth is easy to understand. God will be proud of you before you are easy for other people to understand. He's proud of how you've grown. He likes how well you can control yourself. He's proud of the trust that keeps growing after every time someone tried to bury it. His pride lies in the fact that you are learning to receive without losing your sight. The deck is still there. Heaven hasn't turned away. The Father is still keeping an eye on the small stage where your most private wins take place. And the next part of this message starts where shame tried to keep you from praising yourself. Chosen one. A quiet victory can leave you with a strange feeling of shame. It's not like pride. It doesn't feel like breaking the rules. When heaven tries to celebrate you, it makes you feel bad because a part of you learned to stay alive by hiding. This is what tried to make you sad. Not just the weight, not just the turndown, not just the silence. It was the idea that being praised is harmful. There was a time when praise was linked to stress, jealousy, control, or high expectations. In other words, your spirit takes in God's pleasure in you. Your body might still get ready for a hit though. There may be both fear and warmth in your chest at the same time. You might want to be seen. But the thought of it might make you want to hide. That doesn't mean you're not thankful. It means your body remembers times when it didn't feel safe to pay attention. Maybe getting noticed used to mean getting bad reviews. That love might have come with strings. Someone may have tried to make you feel bad every time you changed. That's why some chosen ones ignore all good news. You change the subject when someone tells you that you're strong. You laugh it off when someone tells you that you're talented. As soon as someone tells you they see you growing, you point out all the things that are still unfinished. That's not something you do because you hate yourself. You're doing it because it feels risky to receive. You worry that someone will take back the praise you get if you get too much of it. You're afraid that someone will call you cocky if you stand too tall. However, divine pride is not the same. God doesn't praise you to catch you. God isn't interested in making you do things. There is a bigger mask you need to wear because God doesn't call you chosen one. His happiness frees you. The enemy couldn't stop heaven from being proud, so he tried to make it hard for you to accept it. He tried to make blessings think something was wrong. He tried to make the peace seem short-lived. He tried to bring every good thing with a dark side. Chosen one, this is where healing really helps. Learn how to receive without getting small. You need to learn how to let God be proud without making a fuss. When a holy word comes over your life, you need to learn how to not shrink right away. You can be humble and still get things. You can be kind and still be praised. You can be picked and still be a person. Being humble doesn't mean turning down every nice offer. Sometimes being humble just means agreeing with what God has already said. Someone needed to hear that truth more than they thought. There were no loud people or exciting scenes in their story. No one else in the room knew that one normal night had changed them in a big way. A message that cut deep was sent to them. They were rude, and it felt like they knew them. It hurt like an old wound that remembers every time you were pushed aside, blamed, or told you were too much. In the beginning, they were angry. They quickly typed the words. Each sentence was short and to the point. There was proof in every line. It was in their hearts to make the other person feel the same way they made them feel. Getting back at them felt good for a short time. After that, they stopped. They had shaking hands. There were tears before there was peace. When they read the message again, something stronger than anger told them, "Not like this. Not from here. Not in this way." That's why they deleted the answer. They were honest about how much it hurt. The wound wasn't called small. They just didn't want to give back the poison that was given to them. They breathed, cried, and let God hold the part of them that wanted to fight back. The outside didn't change. There was no apology. No one all of a sudden got it. Nobody walked in and said, "I saw how hard that was." That moment was not small in heaven, though. That's when a chain lost its strength. That wasn't being weak, that was skill. There was something going on there. That was power that was based on knowledge. That wasn't fear-based silence. That was silence that came from a soul that wouldn't accept going back to an old self. Chosen one, that night may have been different for you. It could not have been a message. It could have been a talk. It could have been a memory. It could have been the desire to make trouble for yourself, just as peace was beginning to appear. No one knew how close you were to the edge. You almost did what you used to do. You almost spoke out of pain. There was a time when you almost let the old chaos in because it felt like home. But you stopped doing something. That stop was holy. That pause showed it. That breath wasn't empty. You broke a cycle that seemed stronger than your will. That's why the Father was proud to see something that no one else could measure. A lot of people never connect one part. It wasn't just your heart that was hurt by the battle. It changed the way your mind learned to stay alive. Years of stress can make the mind narrow, guarded, and tired, even after the danger is gone. That's important because a chosen one can be mentally and spiritually worn out at the same time. You can be on a real mission and still have trouble focusing. Even if you have a lot of clarity, you can still feel lost. You can love God and still feel like you don't know yourself anymore. This is not a message of shame. It's an act of kindness. For a while, survival can keep you safe, but it can also make it harder to receive. Hope can feel risky when this happens. It can make you feel like you can't be creative. It can make it harder to picture your own future. It's not just about feeling better with the deeper restoration. It's about getting back into the picture. Wisdom can use it. Peace is possible. Clear thought is possible. Available to trust like a child. You can reach the part of you that used to think life could heal instead of just wound. This is why what I said before is important. You didn't lose your childish side. You didn't lose the clear part of yourself. You didn't lose your creative side. It could have been hidden by years of building up to impact, stress, and disappointment. That's when a simple support can help some people. It shouldn't be seen as a way to save you or buy your future. It shouldn't be used instead of prayer, wisdom, rest, or obedience. Just one tool for a mind that has been in survival mode for too long. The Genius Switch is the name of the tool. It was built around an 8-minute sound program that was linked to neural sync technology. It was made by Dr. Daniel Barron and his team to support whole brain activation. which means making the left and right sides of the mind work together better. As this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our Ko-Fi community. By doing so, you become part of Jesus' plan to save souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself, Jesus says. This is not history, it is a living promise about your future. Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. This is important to chosen ones for a simple reason. A mind that is shut down can mix up survival with who it really is. You start to feel like you are behind, slow, dull, or blocked. It's possible that you're just living from a system that has been taught to defend itself instead of receive. In terms of science, this idea makes sense. The Nobel Prize was given to Dr. Roger Sperry for his work on the split brain, and how the two sides of the brain have different functions. A lot of things change when the mind doesn't work as a whole, thanks to his work. Think back to your childhood. There are a lot of kids who are naturally open, creative, and quick to learn. It's because they ask. They can easily imagine. Fear doesn't have time to tell them why it shouldn't work, before they see what could happen. That level of openness isn't a fluke. Life then goes on. There is pressure at school. Social rejection does happen. Family problems cause stress. Failure does happen. The nervous system gets used to it. It makes the mind more practical, careful, and sometimes divided against itself. The creative part is still there, but the survival part is getting louder. This is why restoration can feel like going back to being the person you were instead of becoming a whole new person. You're not trying to think of a gift on the spot. You're getting back in touch with something God put inside you before fear taught you how to hide it. Flow state paints a different picture. When an artist makes art easily, a leader knows exactly what to do, and an inventor ties together ideas that didn't seem to go together. Something related is going on in their mind. Thought, feeling, remembering, and making up stories begin to work together. That's the area this tool is meant to help with. It's not just any soundtrack. This is not an app for meditation. It is not a pricey machine. You should listen to it with headphones and close your eyes for 8 minutes every day. That ease of use is important. Many of the chosen don't need another ritual that is hard to follow. They don't need another system that is hard to use and makes them feel bad when they miss a day. They need something that is gentle enough for a tired mind, but also purposeful enough to help them practice. It's an easy process. That's what you do. You shut your eyes. You spend 8 minutes listening. You don't have to force a vision. You don't need to be very focused. You don't have to act very religious while the music plays. Some people may feel like they can think more clearly. Some people may find it easier to make choices. Some people may feel like the mental fog is getting lighter. Some people may just think that they can practice being still without having to fight themselves the whole time. No honest tool should say, that everyone will have the same experience. Things like your life, your body, your stress, and the way things are right now are all important. But if your spirit has been feeling a pull toward mental healing, you might want to look into this without stress. When it was first set, the price was a lot higher, because similar services in person can cost hundreds of dollars for an hour, and some home tools can cost thousands of dollars. It wasn't priced at $500, $200, or even $100 by the team. The price that is shown is $49. It's on sale for $39 for people who came here. That comes with the 8-minute audio, access for life, and 4 extra bonuses that are meant to help you visualize, make better daily habits, and make better decisions in your life. You can also get your money back. It's important to know that because trust shouldn't be forced. You can listen. You can do it. You can see how your life and mind change. You can back out of the deal if you decide it's not your cup of tea. One warning should be said calmly. On public audio platforms, you might find copies or fakes if you look for names that sound like real ones. Because the technology is tied to that release, the actual sequence from Dr. Varana and his team can only be seen on their direct page. If your spirit says it's true, the link is in the description and the first comment. Don't stress, don't be afraid. No claim that a tool can stand in for God. You are still being called by God, and the help is just that help. Chosen one, make sure you understand that. There is no product that can be God. You can't be picked by sound. There is no tool that can make the Father's love over your life. This message, the title, and how proud heaven was didn't make that love happen first. It was already there. The more important thing is still who you are becoming. This is how you learn to receive. You are getting better at not arguing with pleasure. You are learning how to accept help without giving up your own sense of right and wrong. That doesn't show weakness, it shows maturity. Keep the message if this tool isn't right for you. Have a calm mind as you look into it if it's for you. Don't boil this whole revelation down to a choice about a product, either way. The more important revelation is that heaven has already seen how you are being made. God isn't giving up his pride for you. God's happiness isn't hidden behind a purchase. God isn't going to wait until you have a perfect routine before he claims you as his own. The Father already knows about the small wins that made you who you are. The tool may help your mind, but God heals the person. Prayer may help you see things more clearly, but only God knows what your calling is. You may start to listen to the audio every day, but heaven was already happy before you heard its name. Allow the stress to leave your body. Make the choice easy to make. Do not hold back your spirit. The message goes back to the holy place where it all began. God was proud of the part of you that had stood strong and not turned mean. That's not a weak pride. Because you are still healing, it doesn't go away. Just because you have questions doesn't make it go away. It doesn't pull away when you ask for help. It stays because it comes from the Father, who knows everything. Chosen one, the shame that comes with being praised is fading. You no longer need to hide from holy delight. When God calls you seen, you don't have to hide. You don't need to say sorry for becoming someone that heaven can trust. The next truth is the one that's been on your mind since the start. After claiming you, God didn't wait for everyone else to agree with him. No one in the room had to clap for him to smile. He knew already. He saw it already. He was already happy. In fact, he had already leaned over the balcony of heaven and seen the child who kept picking him out in secret. He still meant what he said about you. That is my chosen one. Chosen one. God didn't wait for everyone to agree with him before claiming you. There was no time for the crowd to clap before he smiled. He wasn't waiting for your life to be over before. He told you that your quiet obedience was beautiful. This is the truth that's been on your mind. After the door opened, you thought God would be happy. You thought he would be happy when the promise came true. You thought that heaven would be happy when people finally saw proof that your pain was worth it. But God saw the proof before anyone else. He could tell by how calm you were. He could tell by how calm you were. He could tell because you kept picking light. Even though darkness would have made it easier for you to talk. You thought the blessing would pick you. But it was the other way around. The blessing isn't what makes you who you are. The blessing shows what God has been building in you, to help you carry more without losing the gentleness he was watching over. That's why God's laughter is so good for you. It means that someone isn't spying on you from far away. You are known with love. You are being watched by a Father who knows how much this journey will cost you. You might have been judging yourself based on things that aren't finished yet, like the closed door, the delayed answer, the broken relationship, the unrequested apology, the tight budget, or the tired body. All of that has been seen by God. He isn't ignoring what's going on with you. He was looking at what had changed inside you, while you were looking at what hadn't changed. That change inside wasn't small to heaven. You didn't turn mean. You didn't let being turned down change the way you spoke. You didn't let the weight turn into doubt. You didn't let being alone make you believe that love wasn't real. You didn't let pain make you who you were. That's why heaven was happy. That's why your Father smiled at you. That's why the thought of God laughing has such power. It's not God laughing at your pain. God is happy about the person who made it through. You were chosen. So take this without shrinking. You don't have to act like all of your wounds are healed. You're not being told to act like you're done. You are being told to stop calling yourself a failure and start calling yourself formed. You're not behind because it took time to form. You are not weak because you did not get enough rest. Your heart still feels deeply, so you're not broken. You didn't fail because your faith felt like a small breath some days. You're not too much. It's not too late. You are not hidden. We haven't forgotten about you. People tried to make you think you were a mistake, but you're not. You're not the rejection you lived with for years. You were the one who didn't quit when it made sense to do so. You were the one who broke down when it seemed safer to be tough. You were the one who paid attention when pride spoke up. You were the one who kept the candle lit during the storm. You have been chosen, but not because of your ego. You have been picked to serve. You have been picked to be formed. You were picked because you are both gentle and strong. You have been picked to be a safe place for the kind of truth that scared you before. You are getting stronger. It's becoming clear to you. You are being made clean in places where pain tried to leave marks. You are learning how to deal with being seen without making it an idol. You are getting ready to receive love without being afraid of it. Don't shrink back as these words are said over you. Listen to them slowly in your spirit. Allow your body to learn that recognizing the holy is not dangerous. Allow your breath to make room for the truth you've been avoiding. It is okay for God to see you. You are welcome to be praised by heaven. You can enjoy happiness without feeling bad about it. It's okay for you to stand in the light without getting cocky. You are not being picked. You're getting better at living like one. You're not looking for your identity. It is coming back to you. There's no need for you to beg heaven to see you. Heaven has seen you in places no one else has been. A personal victory has a lot of power. Even though it doesn't need one, God gave it one anyway. It doesn't need praise to be important, but heaven answered anyway. It can be recorded without a person having to explain it. Heaven saw every time you didn't repay evil with evil. Heaven saw every time you didn't give up your own soul to make someone else happy. Heaven saw every time you chose peace with your hands shaking. Heaven knew when you prayed even when you didn't feel like it. Heaven saw every time you chose to forgive, without acting like the hurt was small. Heaven saw every time you kept your heart alive, after being let down. This is what your life is being watched over, not perfection, but growth, not performance, but obedience, not noise, but loyalty. Everyone missed something, but the Father saw the child who kept coming back to him. That is my chosen one. Let those words sink in. Don't go too fast by them. Your mind might want to think about them. They might not want to listen to your fear. Even though your shame might want to turn it down. Your spirit knows what the truth sounds like. Take one deep breath. Do not hold yourself up. Take it easy on your hands. The part of you that wants to be punished should feel the difference between fear and respect. God isn't watching over you to hurt you. He is close to heal you. He's close to help you stay steady. He's close by to remind you that the hidden spot wasn't just empty. It was a place that formed. It was a holy spot. It was a spot where heaven kept records. You don't have to make yourself cry. There's no need to make someone feel something. You don't have to prove that this message got through. What has already been said doesn't need to be pushed. It's okay for it to rest inside you. Let go of the old shame in that quiet. Let go of the shame of not being seen. Get rid of the shame that comes with wanting comfort. Let go of the shame that comes with getting praise. Let go of the shame of living an imperfect life. You don't have to bring it all over to the next season. You don't have to beg to fit in every time the door opens for you. Now you can walk in a different way. Not because people changed, but because you heard what heaven had to say. Picked one. This is where the message changes from performance to agreement. Not pressure or performance, in agreement. When God speaks to you, your spirit can agree with it. Even if your emotions aren't ready yet. Don't feel like you have to show how hard it was. Who knows? Let go of the need to make everyone see things your way. Who knows? Don't feel like you have to shrink to make other people comfortable. God knows what kind of person He made you. Let go of your anger toward those who didn't clap. Some of them couldn't see you. Some of them didn't want to see you. A few of them only knew the small part of you that kept their comfort level. Let God take care of what they missed. Let God take care of what they messed up. Let God decide what you can't figure out without getting upset. You are not meant to spend your life arguing with rooms that have never learned how valuable you are. Don't be afraid that being praised will make you proud. The right kind of party will make you thankful. Being seen in the right way will make you careful. If you get the right kind of blessing, it will make you bow down, not stand taller than other people. Get holy joy. Feel pure joy. Feel the love of the Father without having to work hard for it. Accept the truth that God can be happy with what you're becoming, while still fixing what needs to be fixed. Get trust like a child again. Not blind trust in people who aren't safe. Do not blindly believe that every door is open. A pure faith in God. Let yourself be celebrated without fear, with a quiet trust that says, I can be wise and still hopeful. I can be discerning and still tender. Heaven doesn't want to make you look bad. As God lifts you up, He's not going to drop you. The Father doesn't call you out to shame you in front of everyone. Let the blessing cover your mind. May your thoughts become clear where fear made them jumbled. May wisdom grow without fear. May your creativity come back without any stress. May your attention become steady, calm, and sharp. Allow the blessing to cover your body. May the stress you were feeling start to go away. May your breath remind you of being safe. May your sleep get lighter. Your nerves should learn that peace is not a trap. Do not let the blessing cross your lines. May your yes mean what it says. May your no be calm. May your silence lead you, not scare you. Please keep being kind without letting anyone get to what God told you to keep safe. Get the blessing for the next thing you want to do. It should open on its own. May it end without a fuss. It should show you who is really with you, and who is only with the old version of you. Take this seal as proof that you are who you say you are, and walk through it with clean hands. You are made. You are not thrown away. You are getting ready. You are not hidden because you don't have any value. You are hidden because some things are grown out of the way of careless eyes. Father tells you, you are not forgotten. You are formed. That's enough for now, chosen one. Right now you don't need to tell everyone what will happen. You don't need to know everything. While God talks to today, you don't need to think about tomorrow. It's not a joke that God laughs over you. It's a happy seal. Heaven is filled with joy over a child who lived through the wilderness and was still gentle enough to be led. You are being watched. You are being held. You are getting better. You are being shown the way. In the quiet place, you are getting stronger, so that when the next door opens, you don't have to beg permission to go in. You come in as someone who has already been seen. You come in as someone who has already been loved. Before anyone in the room learns how to say your purpose, you come in as someone who already exists in heaven. That's why the Father was proud and could laugh. He saw the end coming while the process was going on. He could see the harvest in the seed. He could tell that the hands were strong. even though they were shaking. He saw the chosen one in the child who was hidden. It wasn't because things got easier when heaven shook. It was because something real got through. Your faith lived on. Your kindness lived on. Your ability to love lived on. You were still able to hear God. That living is holy. That they are still alive is proof. That's a big deal to stay alive. Their goal was for your pain to become who you were. But God kept calling you by your purpose. So, take it easy after reading this. Don't go back to the noise too quickly. Be careful with the words. Bring them with you the next time you have to talk, make a choice, or be alone, when old fears try to come back. If your spirit says yes, write this as a seal: I receive holy delight. If you really mean it, write it slowly. Not to please or show off. Just to remember the moment when your heart stopped fighting with holy recognition. Be careful when you send this message to someone else who forgot that God saw them. Send it to the person who is quietly making it through. Send it to someone who needs to know that God doesn't feel bad about their work that isn't finished. The link to the 8-minute audio support I talked about earlier is in the description, and the first comment for those who felt called to check it out: do not move at all costs. Let your spirit stay free, because God is the one who can heal you, chosen one. The people in the room might not have clapped yet. The sorry message might not have arrived yet. Even though the door hasn't opened yet, what mattered has already been seen in heaven. The Father is already happy about the secret win. Take it easy. Stand up straight, take it all in. Heaven saw you before anyone else in the room did. The words above you still say, "That is my chosen one." You are about to enter your divine future. But remember, this breakthrough is not for you alone. Your testimony is the bridge someone else will use to reach their own miracle. Archangel Michael is inviting you to visit community through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. By joining our like-minded community, you are no longer praying in isolation. You are adding your voice to a global sanctuary, where we discuss the Word daily, and stand in the gap for one another. This is not poetry when Jesus says, "Give, and heaven will open over you." On this platform, every seed you plant turns into oil for your destiny, fire for your calling, and a hedge of safety for your family. Now is your time. Step into our community prayer wall, share your heart, and as you give, watch God multiply what you let go of. Let's finish this journey together. Visit our community now, join the family, and see your heavens open. Before we get to the end of this powerful story, let's reflect on this deep truth. You did not find this message by accident. This is a divine appointment meant specifically for you. You are being invited into a protected, faith-filled community at the link in the description and pinned comment, a place where divine abundance is not just a hope, but a promise built on the Word. By heading to the site right now, you are unlocking access to a sacred community of like-minded believers. When you join our membership tiers, you gain immediate entry to powerful content, daily devotions, and divine insights that are hidden from the world. This is your chance to enter a sanctuary where you will receive spiritual guidance, unwavering support on our prayer wall, and speedy progress toward your destiny. Do not let this moment of destiny pass you by. Your breakthrough is waiting. Join our inner circle through the exclusive link in the description. This is how you guarantee you never miss the personalized messages and spiritual warfare tools meant to elevate your life. If you feel called to deepen your connection, the link is waiting for you in both the pinned comment and the description. For those who want to amplify this work and carry the light home, you can find our guided ebooks and Bibles in the pinned comment. Whether you join as a member or sow a seed through our resources, your presence and energy change the world. Take the step. Your abundance awaits.